Welcome to Kermode Uncut, and Happy New Year. The festivities pretty much stop there because it's time to run down my number 5 to number 1 worst films of 2014. Now, if you tuned into Kermode Uncut previously, you'll know that numbers 10 to number 6 in my wall of shame for worst of 2014 were, respectively, at number 10, Sin City 2, number 9, Sex Tape, number 8, The Canyons, number 7, Mrs. Brown's Boys The Movie, and number 6, Grace of Monaco. And I know what you're thinking. What could possibly be worse than Grace of Monaco? Well, in at number 5, Nativity 3, Dude, Where's My Donkey? Now, don't get me wrong, I rather liked the first Nativity movie. In fact, I said so in my review. I absolutely hated the second one, and Nativity 3 made me lose the will to live. But here's the important thing. Nativity 3, Dude, Where's My Donkey took £1.8 million at the UK box office in its first week, which proves definitively that what critics say about a movie makes no difference at all. So, I say with a clear conscience, it's horrible.
Can you feel the Christmas spirit yet? This is our Christmas song. Buckle up for the ride of your life.
Christmas is magical.
Have you got your memory back? Can you remember what you've done with my donkey?
Hello, everybody!
This is pretty cool, Mom. What is he doing here?
Is this a sick dream?
At number 4, here's a film which has actually leapt up in my chart of the worst films of 2014. When I did my midterm report, this movie was behind Grace of Monaco. But I've thought about it a lot since then. And I think that the idea of Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore getting a paid holiday so that we all get to watch Blended is worse than anything Nicole Kidman has ever done.
So pretty! Wow!
We're out of gas! Let's start running fast! Get those legs going!
Hi, boys. You ever done it in a dentist chair?
Once you could get the chair ready, I'm just gonna visit the men's room real quick.
You're welcome to do that on me.
Oh, well, it's a...
And?
At number 3, we say a traditional hello to Jennifer Aniston as we greet the arrival of Horrible Bosses 2 in my rundown of the worst films of the year. Now, I didn't find Horrible Bosses 1 funny, and Horrible Bosses 2 was even worse, but actually it was slightly more repugnant. However, it committed one central crime. It invoked the spectre of 9 to 5, the fabulous Dolly Parton movie, which I love, which just made me think all the way through Horrible Bosses 2, why aren't I watching 9 to 5?
Sneak into his crib, knock him out, and keep that bitch sedated until daddy pays up.
Name me one movie where the kidnappers weren't incarcerated.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Everyone, this is Patsy Pose.
Patsy Pose?
This is Flossie, Fuzzy Cheeks, and Princess Peach Pringle.
Get me out of this tutu!
See ya! Oh, my doggy woggy is small!
Which brings us to number 2, and Pudsey, the movie. Now look, I am as willing as the next man to be entertained by the sight of a dog standing on its hind legs and doing pirouettes, or a pig dressed as a chicken pretending to lay an egg. But really, Pudsey? Pudsey? Look, if you paid money to see it, you'd feel duty-bound to ask for a refund. I wanted a refund. I saw it for free.
Well, after that performance, I've changed my mind.
I think we just found a transformer.
I'm gonna ask you this once. Where is Optimus Prime?
Which brings us to the top spot, and it's with a reassuring sigh that I once again welcome Michael Bay to the number 1 position in my rundown of the worst movies of the year. Now, Transformers Age of Extinction is, of course, terrible, but it's by no means Michael Bay's worst movie. I mean, it's not as bad or as vile, for example, as Pain and Gain. However, it's made the top spot for a number of reasons. 1, it's terrible. 2, it's horribly overlong. But number 3, the film company have been so emboldened by its financial success that they have put it forward for consideration, and I'm not making this up, in the Best Picture category at the forthcoming award season.
Oh my God!
That's That's right, the film company think that Transformers Age of Extinction is a serious contender for Best Picture. Won't win, won't get nominated, but it will win my worst film of the year. Congratulations, Michael, you're on a home run. So there you have it, my best and worst films of 2014. I'm sure there's loads in there that you disagree with and many more that you think I've just overlooked. So what are your lists? What are your favourite and least favourite films of the year? Let me know. And then tune in to the next Kermode Uncut, where I'll be looking forward to the treats ahead in 2015.
A new era has begun. The age of the Transformers is over.